Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Sam Kwok here, one of the Kwok Brothers, and today we have a special guest. We have Rebecca, all the way from DC. She's a crypto CPA. You guys heard that right. We have a CPA that specializes in cryptocurrency for those who are investing, trading cryptocurrency, or maybe you have a business that's involved in cryptocurrency. So we have Rebecca. Hey, how's it going, Rebecca?
Doing good. How are you?
Doing really well. So we have a couple of questions for her. And of course, for those who are subscribed to her channel, you guys will also get other videos related to cryptocurrency. So right off the gate, before diving in, be sure to subscribe to her channel, hit like. You guys know the drill. We ask for that all the time in our videos. So right off the gate, and we're not going to beat around the bush here. So tell me a little bit about yourself, Rebecca. What do you specialize in? You're a CPA and you're in DC. That's all I know. Tell us a little bit more about you.
Yeah, so I started my business Pythagoras about 4 years ago in early 2017. Definitely a changeover from working for the federal government. I used to work for the federal government as an employee for DoD. So started my own business. I decided to specialize in cryptocurrency taxation because at that time there weren't too many accountants that were involved in it. So I thought it would be like a niche for me. And I ended up learning a lot more about the blockchain and ended up getting a lot more than what I bargained for. So it's been a pretty interesting ride.
Yeah.
Definitely experienced in all types. I've had clients all over the world, really. Down to 6 continents right now. And it's been pretty interesting talking to people from all over, helping them put their ledgers together so that they can file their taxes.
That's awesome. So right off the gate, some of our followers and subscribers, and for those who are involved in our Facebook group, the first thing they're asking, and this is a basic one, but how is cryptocurrency taxed at the moment? The whole premise of cryptocurrency is to decentralize itself from a government or a government fiat currency. It's an interesting question. So how is it getting taxed when it comes to selling, buying, and trading?
Well, this is a question I get a lot, usually from people that don't want to pay taxes. So I don't really try to do my best to convince them, you do whatever you want sort of deal. I'm just here to help people file their taxes that need to file their taxes. But pretty much the IRS has already stipulated that any type of income, if you're a US citizen, so if you're a US citizen, regardless if you've made money in another country, you're supposed to be filing taxes on that money that you've made. So this would obviously fall down into cryptocurrency. The IRS has deemed cryptocurrency as property, similar to stock, but it's not the same. And it really just depends. How is it taxed? It depends on how you get it. If someone paid you income, for example, if you provided a service or you sold something and someone gave you cryptocurrency in exchange, that's the same thing as money, more or less, so you're going to have to count that as income with the fair market value. If you're trading cryptocurrency, then you're taking the fair market value of the day of the trades. It's simple, but it's complicated. Mm-hmm. Just know that depending on how you get your cryptocurrency will be the way that it will be taxed, whether it's passive income, active income. There's just a whole bunch of things.
Interesting. So that actually spawns a really good question. So if I'm a landlord and I could potentially see a day where I could collect rent with cryptocurrency, right? So in that case and scenario, right now, I would file that as passive income, right? Is that the same case, I'm guessing, or no?
Yeah, if you're a landlord that's accepting your rent payments in cryptocurrency, then you'd be taking the fair market value on the day that you received it. That would be considered the income. If there's a gain on that income, for example, if someone was only supposed to pay you $1,200, but by the time that it got to you, it was worth $1,205, then there'd be $5 of gain and $1,200 of rental income. So it gets very hairy.
So that's really interesting. I didn't think about that because, of course, what the rental agreement says is $1,200 in that example. But if there was a $5 of gain because of, appreciation in the value, yeah, that's actually a really interesting point. And I'm guessing that will be taxed as ordinary income, not passive.
Ordinary income, the gain, yes.
Yeah,
the gain, yes.
Right.
But the passive income would be the rental income. So yeah, again, if you are someone in this space, especially if you're taking payments for your business, rental properties, even for yourself, you'll need to work with a CPA. I mean, this is accounting on steroids pretty much. So regular everyday accountants, that know their way around the ledger, know their debits and credits. Now it's like, again, it's like a step up because now we're dealing in non-money. We're dealing in
Right.
cryptocurrency. So it's very
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah, no, yeah, I didn't think about that. It's a very interesting thing, and I learned something today too. So that's awesome. So, we were mentioning a little bit about the business realm of cryptocurrency. In an ordinary business, we get to take write-offs, right? There's certain depreciation
Yes.
or deductions. What are some of the unique business write-offs that I could do when trading, selling crypto that I may not necessarily be able to do with other ordinary businesses?
That's a good question. I will be honest with you. I've had a couple of clients that have tried to take like a trader status, but they didn't really qualify for like the time spent on it and whether or not this was
What is a trader status? Just for that, for those that are
well,
individuals.
the trader status really also applies to stocks. It hasn't been explicitly deemed cryptocurrency falls under it. But, people, this is a gray area. The IRS has not really laid out all the rules the way that we need them to be. So someone may say, well, hey, it doesn't say this. It doesn't say this, but it doesn't not say it either. So it may be a position that you can take on your tax return and everything else like that. So a trader status is someone that actively trades and they're doing it for income. These people usually have sort of like an LLC, or they just put in the statement on their tax return that they are qualifying for trader status because of the amount of trades that they've made. They're doing this for profit, and therefore anything that's relevant to the trading can be written off, such as, for example, a home office. If you have a specific office space in your home where you go to work and trade every day, you could write off those applicable deductions. Anything required for you to trade, anything to help you trade. So I know some people have been looking at how can I trade better? How can I learn how to read candlesticks and things like that? It's not necessarily required, but I would say it's something that's ordinary and necessary as a business expense if this is what you do.
Yeah, hey, that's really interesting as well. So, that actually leads to my next question, which is actually a really good transition. So, what is the best tax structure that some of these traders, or maybe they do this on a professional level where crypto is their main thing? What is the best tax structure? And of course, everyone's a little bit different, but in general terms.
I'm going to be honest with you. This is one
Yeah.
of those it depends questions. I know
Right.
like it gets annoying to hear that from a practitioner,
Right.
but everyone's status is different
Mhm.
and there are different rules to having different entity types. Sometimes like, for example, a lot of people want to go to S Corps because they hear that S Corps assist with helping, reduce taxes, but a lot of people don't understand exactly how S Corps work.
Right.
An S corp may be totally appropriate for somebody that's profiting $150,000 a year. It's inappropriate for someone that's losing money on trades every year. So really depends. Talk to your tax professional, because your tax professional can guide you on the different entity types there are.
Yeah.
And then if you decide to make a go for it, I would definitely say at some point talk to a cryptocurrency tax specialist so that they can assist you. And there's people, so that's where you would probably want to reach out for help. But yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So Rebecca, we lost you just a little bit there due to, I don't know what the technical issue was, but so basically, it's a case by case situation.
Yeah, definitely go
Right.
talk to your professional. It's not, I can give you a blanket answer. It really.
So for those who have questions about crypto tax, maybe something that we haven't covered so far, go and leave them down below. Maybe we'll do a follow-up video with Rebecca where if we have questions that weren't answered, we'll go ahead and do that as well. Be sure to, of course, share this video with your fellow crypto investors and crypto experts out there as well. We'll also leave Rebecca's information down below in our video description. So a couple more questions before we kind of wrap things up here. So let's talk about some regulations. There's a lot of question marks. This thing's fairly new. You and I both know, I actually used to work for the government as well. You and I both know that when there's something new, it takes about 5 to
Oh, it
7
takes
years.
forever. It takes
Yeah.
forever.
Oh yeah, it takes almost a decade for the government to
That's
kind
the
of catch
government
up.
for you. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I will say that when it takes
Yeah.
them that long, they're very thorough when it finally comes
Right.
out.
Right.
What I found.
Yeah. So what do you anticipate as far as regulations right now? Obviously the trader status is one, but what do you think is going to happen?
That part, I'm going to be honest with you, I really can't say. And the reason why is because crypto is getting a lot more complicated. I've been doing this for a couple of years now, and I have clients with ledgers out the wazoo. And what I mean by that is if the government is expecting everyone to record, track, and report their cryptocurrency earnings, we also have to take into account that basis information is going from year to year. And what do I mean by that? If you bought something back in 2014 and you sold it in 2019, we have to keep track of that until that final coin has been traded or sold or what have you.
Right.
So these ledgers are getting pretty long, especially as people are doing consistent trading and going back and forth. I don't know what to expect. I'm actually kind of concerned about it because unless our crypto tax softwares are going to allow a million trades, and maybe some of them do, I only use one specifically. The ledgers are going to get bigger and it's going to get more complicated for people as time goes on. So I don't know. I do want a happy resolve. I do know staunch cryptocurrency people, the originals, the Bitcoinists. These people don't want government involved in cryptocurrency, which I understand, but the majority, I would have to say the majority of people are using it as an investment tool. Most people are getting into this just to simply make money. And then they're going back to fiat afterwards. So
right.
I really don't know.
Yeah. So from my understanding, so where I'm getting at is, let's say I bought $100,000 of Bitcoin, right? But if I never sell it to another dollar, right? If I never go back to the fiat currency, it's non-taxable. Basically, I would have an unrealized gain at that point.
Right? You have an unrealized gain or loss depending on which way the market goes.
Right. Okay. So that's really interesting because, usually what I see is that someone does something or invests, something new comes out like social media 20, 15 years ago, and there's a lot of mistakes or a lot of hurt that happens. And the government's like, okay, there's enough people that are hurt, so let's go and create regulations. Do you see any of that happening now where people are screwing around, or there's a some kind of mishap, or people are taking advantage of certain things?
Well, we had the whole, what was it called? BitConnect, and a couple of governments stepped in on BitConnect, and USI Tech, a couple of governments stepped in on that as well. So and in that case, people were getting hurt because they were getting lost or their money was being stolen. Like, I'm pretty sure that hasn't even been resolved to this day. So we'll see exactly what ends up happening with it. But as far as overall cryptocurrencies go, I don't think so, because generally speaking, the reputable exchanges are working with the governments to make sure that they know their customer, that people are getting some type of tax report, even if the tax report is incorrect. So I don't see it like that. But again, there's a lot to cryptocurrency. Like, I tell people all the time, just because I know about cryptocurrency taxation doesn't mean I'm an expert in all things cryptocurrency. I'm learning everything new every day. And there's always something that pops up that my clients say, hey, I just got involved in this. And then I'm taking a look at it and I'm like, oh, interesting. Like, maybe it's a good thing, maybe it's a bad thing. So who knows?
Yeah, absolutely. So last question before we kind of close out of here. So there's proposals and rumors that the current administration is proposing a capital gains tax increase, right? We're looking at a 20% federal rate right now, and that might go up to 39.6% on certain individuals, right? People making, I know you chuckle, making more than $1 million a year. So let's say I'm a trader that has made more than $1 million in a year doing Bitcoin and cryptocurrency trading, and capital gains taxes go up. What are some of the ways that I could potentially defer these capital gains in some capacity?
Opportunity zones is one of the things that was put out in the last couple of years that people can looking into putting their crypto gains into.
Really?
There are rules about it. So
Okay.
you'll need to talk to your tax professional. Your tax professional won't have like the actual opportunity zone. That'll be something that you'll need to figure out as the investor.
Right.
But there is a rule. Don't quote me on it because this is like, training. You get training, and then if you
Yeah.
don't put it to practice, you have to go back and look up what was that again. But I think it's like between 30 to 60 days of, it could be as long as 180. I don't remember it
Wow.
offhand, but you have to put those gains into an opportunity zone. And if you leave it there for 7 to 10 years, then you get the money tax free. But this is all about investment. If you are someone that is interested in saying, hey, I'm making a lot of money this year in cryptocurrency, I don't want to pay the taxes on this is when you need to be proactive about looking for opportunity zones and talking to your CPA about them, and seeing what can be done, because there are things that can be done. I
Yeah.
just, in my experience, a lot of people would rather have the cash, but when you get the cash in hand, Uncle Sam wants his part too.
Right. So opportunity zone, you're referring to buying real estate. Is that right?
Yes, those are some of them. What else? I'm trying to think of any other items I could throw out there. Long-term capital gains. If you're a trader, it's honestly in your best interest to hold your positions for at least a year, which it's hard in this, especially right now. Like
Yeah.
things are going up and down every day, But
Right.
if you hold your crypto for a year, you're able to write it off at a lower, at a preference rate. And also take advantage of your losses. If you have a coin and you know it's not doing well and you don't see it going any further, you may want to say, hey, look, how much money did I lose on this? Let's offset those losses to my gains so that it can help reduce my tax bill. So those are a couple of things that you could do.
Yeah. Well, hey, that's amazing. So I think that I didn't even realize you can go to the opportunity zone and invest in real estate. That's pretty sweet. So I'm guessing you invest in crypto yourself. Am I right?
Yes.
I
A
thought
lot.
so. So well, I know you may not even want to mention this, but what is that one coin that you want? Hey, this needs to go to the moon.
Oh, well, I mean, my coin has already gone to the moon. I'm
Okay.
strictly in Bitcoin, but
Okay.
I do pick up I picked up Cardano, BAT, and there's one more coin, but I can't think of it off the rip right now.
Okay.
But yeah.
Yeah, I can hear all of our YouTube viewers. It's like shuffling to get the notepad and like writing this down. So
Oh, no, but listen. I get
yeah,
my
yeah.
information from my clients. So when my
Oh, okay.
clients are really bullish on something, I pay attention. And a lot of them are very bullish on Cardano, BAT,
Wow.
and there's one more. It's just escaping me right now.
Okay. Interesting.
And we're not into Dogecoin. I know everybody's
Right,
into,
right.
but again, like I knew back in 2017 that Dogecoin was a joke, but it's the hype and people are jumping into cryptocurrency. They may not really understand what's going on. It's a pump
Yeah,
and dump. We don't do that here.
yeah. Yeah, I appreciate your thought on that. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's Rebecca for you guys. Of course, you guys can get her information down below. If you are an active crypto trader, your business is in crypto, Rebecca, you can reach out to her. It should be a great help. You just heard it today. In fact, there's probably going to be a lot more questions down below. So go and leave your questions down below. We'll most likely do a follow-up video in a few weeks, so that we can capture a lot of these questions. And, as always, we'll provide you guys updates. And if there's any major in the crypto land, we'll have Rebecca back to join us, hopefully. Yeah, we can provide some info. So that being said, everybody, subscribe and like this video, and we'll see you in the next video. Take care.
Bye.